So you want to buy a house and you're not sure if you're in that stage of your life to commit to something that big. I bought my house at age 23, but I've seen people at the age of 19 buy their first home. So how does one know when they're ready to make this decision? In this episode, I'm going to be talking to my friend Jerry Martinez, who bought his home at age 21 right after university, and he's going to give us his perspective of being a young homeowner. Thank you so much for coming, Jerry.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, can you tell us before we get started a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Jerry Martinez. I'm the baby of a family of four. My parents immigrated from El Salvador. And in 2020, I became the first person in my family to graduate college. I was born and raised in the Tri-Cities, went to Eastgate Elementary, middle school, high school here, and went to WSU Pullman.
Nice. So you're saying you're the youngest out of four and the first homeowner?
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Actually, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
First homeowner, yeah.
Dang.
Well, no, my older sister, sorry.
Your
My
older sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, that's impressive. Were your parents homeowners?
My parents are homeowners in Kennewick.
In Kennewick? When did they first buy a house?
When a couple years after they first immigrated here in the 80s, I want to say mid 80s, late 80s.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
they got a good deal.
They got a pretty good deal. I think it's paid off now. So
Yeah.
the house I grew up in, my parents fully own it, which is like, I think a great thing to have in your family.
Yeah, and how old was your sister when she got her home?
I want to say she was probably mid 20s as well. She had settled down with her partner and then she was going to have a baby. So felt like the right time for her.
Felt like the right time.
Yeah.
And what about you? How old were you when you got your house?
Oof. It was right after I graduated college. I lost my job. I thought I was going to work in Seattle. I graduated during COVID.
We graduated during COVID.
We graduated during
Yeah.
COVID.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. And my internship turned into a full-time offer. My full-time offer turned into, hey, sorry, it's a tough time right now with COVID. And so I just moved back in with my parents. And it was a really interesting experience moving back in with my parents after being kind of independent for so long. And so I just felt like I had outgrown the space.
Yeah.
And I was, I think, about 21, 22 when I started the process. And I think I was 23 by the time I moved into my first home here in Pasco.
What motivated you to do that? Because a lot of people, like you said about your sister, find the perfect time. How did you know it was your perfect time?
And I think it probably wasn't. It was like an imperfect time, right?
Right.
So I had lost my job, and I was living with my parents, and I don't know, just something about being back in my old room from high school. Loved my.
I get it, dude. I get it.
Like I love my parents. I still literally go to my mom's every day for lunch. She makes me lunch every lunch period or every lunchtime. So I go over. My mom makes me pupusas, she makes me handmade tortillas, all of that. But being at home after being like independent for so long, I had a job where I was working from home and my little niece and nephew were running around all the time. I had brought all my stuff from college and like combined it in with all the things I had left at home. And so I just feel like, I was like, there's no space for me here. I've kind of outgrown this. It's so hard to work with like little kids running around all the time. And so I was looking at an apartment, but I had graduated with a decent bit of savings. I was a good student, and so I won a decent bit of scholarships. And so when I graduated, I had a little nest egg of money, and I thought to myself like, well, like, can I make this happen?
Yeah.
And so I started the process, and I honestly did not think I was going to be able to afford a home. The first mortgage lender I went to, they kind of just pushed me off to the side. I think either my age or the amount of money I had, I think they didn't think I was capable or ready yet.
Or serious.
Yeah, serious. And so I was ready to give up. I signed like an
NDA.
An NDA. No, I put down a deposit. I put down a deposit on an apartment, and I was ready to move into an apartment. And then my brother-in-law let me know. He's like, hey, I heard the first mortgage lender wasn't a good experience. Use my guy. So I went to his guy, and it was a totally different experience. He believed in me. He was like, Jerry, you have everything like set up for you. You can definitely do this. And so we started shopping around, and I think one thing led to another, and I ended up in the home I'm at today. So
Yeah, and it was like a new build, right? And a new development.
New build, new development, townhome, really great price point for me starting out.
Oh yeah.
And 3-bed, 2-bath, and I'm very grateful, very thankful that I like had that opportunity in front of me.
It sounds like you got a lot of support, especially from like your brother-in-law, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Your brother-in-law, like he pushed you, right? He said that, I'm sorry this was unfortunate for you, but don't give up. And I think a lot of people do that, you know? They give up, they have a very bad experience. That's why I appreciate when people reach out to me and be like, hey, who do you recommend? Because honestly, I recommend like them, like people that I trust and they're going to be communicative with them. And not just that, but set up a game plan, right? It sounds like you got pre-approved like right off the bat.
Got pre-approved.
Were you surprised? How'd you feel?
Yeah, I put forward as I think little bit of money that I had. I showed him my accounts, and he was like, yeah, like you're approved. We looked at some first-time home buyer options, looked at other options, and I was really shocked. I was approved for a handful of different ones that we kind of shopped around with.
Yeah. How did you choose the right one? Like, what was your biggest deciding factor?
I think just a monthly payment. We kind of just settled in on trying to get the cheapest, and managing how much I'd have to give for down payment as well. And so I had a chunk of change coming out of college, but I didn't want to just blow it all and spend it all on a home quite yet. So we found a nice healthy balance of a monthly payment I was looking for, but also not emptying out my pockets fully for this first home.
Right. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, I'm thankful I didn't, because I would have just had a home, no furniture, no TV, just sitting on like a camping chair. So
house broke.
Yeah, I would have been house broke for sure.
Yeah. So you've been a homeowner. What have you learned from this experience? Any pros, cons? What are the pros?
I think pros is just having your own space, and being able to make it yours. I think one of the things I've learned is that I think I'm creative.
Yeah.
That's a piece of me that I feel like I haven't really been able to express, but having your own home, being able to decide the type of furniture you want, the colors of things, the art you want to have. And I think I'm still kind of growing in that area. I have like some stock paintings in my living room that are just kind of, I just got them up from Big Lots or whatever. But now I'm starting to grow in that aspect, and I think the creative side of me is being able to really come out with this home. That like first pro for me that comes to mind is creativity.
Yeah, don't go to TJ Maxx or Target, dude.
Yeah, no, it's you get all the canvases that everyone has, or just canvases that I feel like don't speak to anything really. Right. So, no shame on anyone.
No, not just that, but like, damn, like you're literally like. You end up going for like milk and you come out with everything else.
Oh, yeah. No, literally, sorry. Yes, that aspect.
Yeah.
No shade.
Yeah,
no shade. No shade. Sorry. Target canvassers, Big Lots canvassers.
What's it called? What about cons? What are the cons that you have found in homeownership?
I think it's just like the maintenance, upkeep, like this sense of responsibility. Like
right?
it's mine, so
yeah.
I gotta mow the lawn, or at least I want it to look nice. So mowing the lawn, pulling the weeds. When things go wrong, like for a while our air conditioner wasn't really working. So here in the Tri-Cities, we got the hottest summers and the coldest winters, and that was really tough to manage for a year.
You didn't have warranty?
Well, we just had like a bad system that only kind of circulated air into the living room. So I had to kind of upgrade that to get it into the rest of the rooms. So
interesting.
That was a savings moment and a learning moment for me, where I was like, man, you gotta
slap of reality.
Yeah, you gotta really keep this thing up,
Yeah,
you can't just let it just slide off.
What about, like, for me, I like check my neighbors' yards and like and I'm like, damn, there's just greener.
Well, people's grasses are greener, but I think for me, I've learned also I don't like grass at all. So I'm going through the process right now where I don't want any grass in my front yard. I'm gonna like tear it all over and put in some native plants. Like,
what is that?
it's like just plants that are sort of native to our area here in the Tri-Cities.
Oh, okay.
It's better for the environment. I think, in my opinion, it looks cooler and you use less water. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to take some time.
It's going to take some time?
Yeah.
Have you gotten a cement quote?
No. Where I'm at right now is I've gotten like a draw up of what plants I should put where, and just kind of like here's an idea of what your front yard could look like. I haven't done any of the serious stuff yet. I'm gonna wait till spring.
Yeah, it's gonna be another slap of reality.
Yeah, it's gonna be another one. I want it to look pretty, but maybe I'll start with just like 2 or 3 plants.
Yeah.
And a bunch of dirt. That's what it'll look like for a while.
Yeah. So besides the AC, any other like big cons that you found?
I think just learning to, and this is just for me kind of growing as an adult and growing as a person. I think learning to just cultivate your own space. For all the time growing up, I was with my family. I was the youngest of 4. So I was always rooming with my brother. In college, I had 2 other roommates. And so there was always shared space. And then moving into my own home, I live with my girlfriend now. And so just learning to share that space again with another person, but also learning to have my own space has been like not necessarily a con, but a really it can be tough at times to learn, like, this is the kind of boundaries I want. Here's who I want to invite here. Here's the time I want to spend by myself. And so that's been a tough balance for me.
And you're a dog dad.
Yes, and there's a dog. So I think for me, that's been another con, is just sweeping up and vacuuming up all the dog hair. So
have you tried those electronic robot vacuums?
That's another slap of reality that I haven't gotten to yet.
It's cheaper than the concrete, man.
I know, yeah. So maybe I'll look into it, but I don't
Friday's
mind.
coming up.
I don't mind vacuuming. So
You don't mind vacuuming?
I don't
Do you have
mind
a Dyson?
No, I have like what's it, Shark?
Oh, a Shark?
A Shark, I think.
Okay.
I think it's called a Shark.
Yeah.
I want to say it's a Shark.
Yeah, we have a Shark too.
Ooh, okay.
It's a
Shark
robot.
Gang? Oh, but yours is a robot. It's so different for
it's
you.
a vacuum, yeah.
No, I'm not to that level yet. I'm not advanced yet.
We have an Escobar too.
Escobar, the most high tech I'm at right now is my Alexa can turn on the outside lights and a lamp in the living room.
No way.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
We have Google. We're a Google family. Yeah, so we have the Google speaker for the kitchen, and then the Google TV, and then we have a Nest. We don't have a Ring. Yeah, and then I have like a Google security system.
Oh, wow.
No security. Yeah, security system. Yeah.
What can you tell the Google to do right now? Like, how integrated is it?
I probably shouldn't, but I could say, and I'm gonna whisper it because it will hear you. It's like, hey Google, like, play Adele or whatever, and it'll do it. It'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like smart homes. I think the functionality of it is super.
Yeah, it took me a while to set it up, but I have our outdoor lights. They're on like a Christmas theme, so it's red and green.
Oh wow!
And I have it set up so when I drive home after 5 p.m.,
Yeah.
it'll turn on the outdoor lights for me. Only after 5 p.m. though, so it's kind of cool. I love it. It's so cute. Like, I drive up into my driveway and then the lights just like.
You already
turn
set up for
on.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. When did you set up?
Or just the lights are Christmas themed right now.
Yeah.
The outdoor ones, but the rest of them aren't up yet.
No.
I'm probably gonna do that when I get back from my trip. So.
Do you have any like last words of advice or words of wisdom for someone who's young, who maybe was in your shoes or just has a lot of self-doubt about buying a home? Any last words of wisdom?
Yeah, I think just it's going to take a lot of talking to people. For me, I was lucky to have my brother-in-law there to sort of talk to about the process and give me someone that he trusts. But yeah, it's going to take talking to realtors, real estate agents, mortgage lenders. There's so many people that like make this thing happen. So just be prepared to talk to people and don't let it get you down. It takes a while to find the right people who are going to set you up to your next home. So
yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming, Jerry.
Thank you, Edgardo, for having me.